If you have a One Horizon account, which you can create in just a minute, then you can also go to the demo workspace, especially useful if you don't have much data yet. Then here you can see a daily recap of what you were doing yesterday and a few days before. This is automatically pulled in from your integrations. You can always add something manually, but the idea is that you connect your Jira, Slack, Linear, GitHub, also used with MCP, Google Calendar, and then it automatically pulls it in for you. So you don't need to work on your reporting. You can also view more details. If it is from Linear, Jira for example, like here for my planned items, then if I change the priority or the status, it will sync to Linear as well, so it will update it there right away. Also the other direction, so if you change it there, it will be updated here in real time. So this is what I worked on recently. This is what I have planned for short term, not my full backlog, just the priorities. So it filters out something that is for later. And here's how to unblock my team. So everyone can just move ahead. Now, in the stand-up, it will look similar to your recap, but then for everyone in the team. So you can see who's joining, who isn't. If you're using the Slack bot, you'll get a notification with a link to this. We also have a Google Meet add-on, so you can show the UI directly in the meeting, or someone can just share their screen. When the meeting starts, you'll again see that recap for everyone in turn, but you'll see even less, like only since the last stand-up. So if you discussed something 2 days ago, no need to look at it again, right? So Richard, he could just highlight what he worked on quickly and move on to the next person. Now, let's say Dinesh is this blocker and Nelson can help him out with that. Then what you often see in a stand-up is that people just keep discussing this particular item and the rest is waiting. They waste a lot of time, but also takes away the focus for people. They stop listening. So what you can now do is just press discuss on Slack. Dinesh will get a Slack ping from the bot. You can set up a meeting or a Slack thread only with the relevant people, and now you can just move on to the next person. You can also collaborate live. So here you can see Richard is online right now, that's me. And he has a blue outline. So if he was editing this one, because it should actually be Q4, for example, then the rest will see that as well. So that way you don't need to spend a lot of time preparing a stand-up. You don't need to prepare at all, it's there for you. And then if you see something is off, you can always tweak it quickly. You can also use drag and drop. For example, this wasn't actually worked on, but I'm planning to work on it. You can just drop it there. You can always move back if someone joins late as well, or move forward. And then once you're done, that's not in the demo yet, but here you'll also see like some recap of what was discussed, action items, Slack threads that were started, changes, and so on. So as a manager, for example, you don't need to join the stand-up every time, or maybe as a developer you were sick for a week, but you still want to see like what was done. You can quickly see it here. Also, you can see like the past stand-ups. So yeah, if I want to check what was done on Monday, I could open that. Another way to share progress is with your team journal. This is basically just some simple summaries of what people did on a given day, also for the team itself. You can also, of course, search for specific things, but you don't need to use this for everything like that. The knowledge is also shared with the Slack bot, also with the MCP. So if I'm working in Cursor or Cloud or just in Slack, I can also just conversationally ask like, hey, what did Dinesh work on last week? Or who's working on the OAuth implementation? Or what still needs to be done for that other feature, right? You can just ask, you know it right away. You don't need to distract people and wait for answers. So it's much more efficient. Another way is with release notes. So you can also share progress like that. So it's always on the team level, and then you select like the time frame. So for example, last quarter. Also for the audience, because that matters. Like the tone of voice is different, but also what you include. For customers or partners, you only want to show it impacts them, like a new feature or bug fix. Internal, you want to share a bit more, also things like a database migration. And for executives, you want to make it a bit more high level, more simple, and also tailor it to business goals. So like also what's the impact. Now once it's done generating, you'll get simple markdown. You can also edit it here, like release number 5. It always has some generic intro, like some summary of what was done, and then major feature highlights, like what's the most important part of this release, followed by some other improvements, fixes, sometimes security things. You can simply copy it, put it in a changelog. We use it as shelf for that, so we don't need to grasp like what is actually part of this release. It's just there whenever you need it. And you can also just, of course, paste it into ChatGPT to format it to some newsletter, which we actually also do. Another way to look at progress based on the output is with team insights. So you can already see in this example we decreased the stand-up duration. Also the attendance got up because it was more useful. Also because that this goes on Slack feature, for example. You can see the focus of the team. These are system tags, like some broad categories, but you also have custom labels or topics. And these could be features, products, but also customers or other initiatives. And an example where that could be useful is, let's say you have a small customer that constantly has these nice feature requests. Then you are excited to build it for them, they have great ideas, but they don't pay you well. Then you can't really justify always to put those resources on them. So now you would have the data to back that up, like, hey, we're spending so much time or resources on your ideas. You should either pay more, like we can open the contract, or you should be a bit more patient. I hope you understand. Another example is like, let's say you focus a lot on Golang, but also, for example, on the backend, and you just have one developer that's good at that. Then if they leave, you're stuck, right? So you need to anticipate, be proactive, and hire, train additional people, so you can make better business decisions based on this data as well. These are things you often overlook, especially if you're busy with many other things. Maybe you're even managing multiple teams or remote teams. It's hard to see all of that. And now you don't need to ask around all the time. It's just there whenever you need it. So that's also a thing with One Horizon. It's not just another tool you need to maintain a lot. It's not a replacement for Jira or Linear. It's more like a connection between all these different tools you're using. So it gets rid of a lot of the context switching, and it keeps everything up to date automatically. So whenever you want to look at this, it's there. Whenever you want to look at your daily recap, like for example, I use it on a daily basis. I have this pin, so when I start working, I see right away where I left off, which helps me get in focus quicker. But if you don't want that, like you can just continue working with your code, for example, push something, and then we automatically detect what was done and create some done task for you. So you don't need to maintain anything. You can always correct something, of course. You can manually add something if you did something that isn't in one of our integrations, but you don't have to. So the way it works is, when you go to the onboarding, you connect multiple integrations. It's up to you what you want to connect. You can always do that later. And the way it works is like, if you have this linear ticket, then you see all these different fields. It's quite complex, right? They already do it different from Jira as well. So there you would have some different fields. We map that to some simple uniform format, like a topic, a title, and some metadata, like the status and priority. If you want to use advanced features like story points, cycles, or sprints, we don't want to replace everything, right? We're complementary to Linear and Jira, for example. So then you can just still do it there. You can quickly click this to go to that ticket and see it there. But yeah, for the most important things, like what should I do today, what did I do, that's where One Horizon comes in. You can also see what is using this integration, and you can always disconnect at any time. For some integrations like GitHub, you have some more controls, like your private repos are disabled by default. If you have different organizations, they'll show here, so you can disable it for some if you're working for multiple companies, for example. So yeah, you are always in control. Yeah, that's mainly it.